Hey, what's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. Quick reminder for all things Dodger baseball all offseason long. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, some of your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Should the Dodgers pursue Kris Bryant in free agency? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. What kind of contract would you offer him? Let me know down below. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So today we're going to continue our 2021 free agent profile series, and we'll be focusing on Kris Bryant. Should the Dodgers pursue Kris Bryant this offseason? What kind of contract could they offer him? Could he be a guy they pivot to if they can't re-sign Corey Seager or re-sign Chris Taylor? We're going to answer all those questions. But first, let's take a deep dive into his numbers. The 2021 season was a big bounce back year for Kris Bryant. He ends up slashing 265, 353, 481. He had a 356 WOBA, a 123 WRC plus. He had 25 home runs and 73 ribbies. But coming off that dreaded 2020 season where he dealt with a lot of knick-knack injuries, he played in just 34 of the Cubs' 60 games in 2020. It was an extremely down year. In 2020, he hit 206, had a 75 WRC plus, a 27.2 strikeout rate. But like I've been saying, I am going to give everyone a mulligan for the 2020 season. I mean, because one, there was no fans in the stands, and on top of that, it was just 60 games. That's just 37% of a regular 162 game season. So a lot of these guys that struggled in 2020, who knows how their numbers would have looked if they played a full 162. So can't really hold that against them. But 2021 was a big year for Kris Bryant. He really did reestablish himself as an all-star in Major League Baseball, and he really played his best baseball with the Chicago Cubs. In 93 games with the Cubs last year, before being traded to the Giants, he was slashing 267, 358, 503, had an 861 OPS. He hit 18 home runs, had 51 RBIs, and then he was traded to the Giants at the deadline and still played well. He still produced. He ended up slashing 262, 344. The slugging went from 503 to 444, and the OPS went from 861 in Chicago to 788 with the Giants. He had 7 home runs, 13 doubles, and 22 RBIs. So he did experience a drop-off going from Chicago to San Francisco, but still was able to put up some decent numbers. And if you look at his StatCast numbers, nothing elite from last season. He was in the 74th percentile when it comes to maximum exit velocity, 67th percentile in barrel percentage, 68th percentile in expected WOBA, 71st percentile in walk percentage. But if you're going to go after Kris Bryant, you're not going to sign him for what he did with the San Francisco Giants. You're going to sign him hoping that he can do what he did with the Chicago Cubs. And then the postseason, he definitely produced. He had an 1147 OPS, led the Giants, went 8 for 17, had 1 home run, 2 RBIs. So it was just one series, but he did lead the Giants in pretty much every single statistical offensive category. Now, when it comes to his time in San Francisco, you have to talk about his defense because he did struggle at times at third base. He did struggle at times in right field. He was above average in left field and center field, and that's really what he's become these days. He does have that positional versatility. He can start at 5 positions, third base, first base, and all outfield spots, and we know the Dodgers covet that. They want that positional versatility, but you also have to consider that he doesn't play each of these positions at an above average level, but it still will be something that will be attractive to the Dodgers if they consider going after him. And also, you have to realize that the Dodgers currently have Justin Turner playing the hot corner right now, and his defense has taken a hit in recent years. He's definitely lost his step, and next season he'll be 37. And based on everyone you talk to, 1, you're going to have the DH in the National League, and 2, the plan will be to give Justin Turner a significant amount of time at the DH spot if they're able to find someone that can hold it down at third base. So look, as long as he can do an adequate job and not be terrible at third base, the production that he could potentially provide on offense does make make this a very intriguing possibility. Look, this is a guy who, look at his 2016 season, he hit 39 home runs. In 2017, he hit 29 home runs. In 2019, he hit 31 home runs. So this is a guy that can definitely provide some serious pop from the right side, and the Dodgers have been looking for a righty bat with some more power for quite some time now. Kris Bryant could definitely provide that. Now, I think a couple cons are, one, like we talked about, the defense, and two, has he already really peaked? Now, last year at 123 WRC plus, that was still lower than his peak years when he first stepped onto the scene. It looked like he was on his way to Cooperstown. It looked like he was on his way for a $300 million plus payday one day, but still a very productive player that can hit for power, that can play multiple positions, outfield and infield. So there is a lot to like when it comes to Kris Bryant, and I do think that if they can't re-sign Chris Taylor and Corey Seager, you might want to consider it based on how his market looks. Now, the other obstacle with him is his agent is Scott Boras. You know that the Dodgers and Scott Boras don't always see eye to eye. You know Scott Boras is going to want to squeeze every last dollar out of his clients, and there's going to be other suitors out there. Teams like the Mets, teams like the Mariners. There's going to be a lot of teams they're going to want to take a flyer and just do their due diligence when it comes to Kris Bryant. Now, will the Dodgers overpay for him? I would say no. But hey, let's say the Dodgers do sign him for something like 6 years, $150, $160, $165 million. They would sell a lot of jerseys that say Bryant on the back. Now, he couldn't wear number 24 because that number has been retired. Walter Alston wore number 24, but he could wear number 8 like Manny Machado wore, and just imagine how many jerseys they would sell. The contract would practically pay for itself in jersey sales by the All-Star break. So it is a very intriguing idea, and I do think that it could make more sense than signing a Freddie Freeman because he's a first baseman. Max Muncy is a first baseman, and yes, you could move Muncy to second, but is he really an everyday second baseman? I think I'd rather keep him at first base. And just think of this infield next year. You have Max Muncy at first base, Gavin Lux at second, Trey Turner at shortstop, and Kris Bryant at third base. And then hopefully you have the DH at that point, and JT is your DH on opening day. So that's something to consider. Now, for the Dodger Dream free agent meter, I'm going to give him a 3 Dodger hats. I think maybe 3.5, but let's just go to 3 Dodger hats. Solid. Let's ride. He is just 29 years old. If he can stay healthy, he could really provide some pop from the right side, give you that positional versatility that the Dodgers like. But I think it also would mean that they didn't re-sign Chris Taylor, then probably Corey Seager at that point. So I think that's why I would have to give it a 3 Dodger hats. But let me know down below in the comment section, how many Dodger hats or jerseys would you give Kris Bryant on the Dream Dodger free agent meter? Let me know down below. And would you consider signing him if you were the Dodgers? And what kind of contract would you offer him? And also, if you had to pick between Chris Taylor and Kris Bryant, who would you go with? Let me know down below in the comment section. For me, I think I would go with Chris Taylor because it would be a shorter-term deal at a lesser amount, and then they could use that money to pay some other guys and address some other positions. So let me know down below in the comment section. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. For all things Dodger baseball all off-season long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. Really helps the channel out. Be sure to download the new Dodgers Nation app for my Android iPhone users. Also, head over to GearUp.LA. We've got a Blue Friday sale going on right now. Get geared up with all the best Dodgers t-shirt designs in the game over at www.gearup.la. For all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.